Right now I am handling the garter, and this guy's definitely full and been well fed. I would almost say that he's almost fat, or she. This is a huge garter snake. I mean, look at how beautiful they are, though. I mean, this guy's missing his tail, though. Look at that stump. Oh my goodness, and now he's trying to climb in my hair and on my face. I'm still not sure if this guy's gonna bite me either, because this one's actually even more aggressive than the bull snake, which is funny, but the snake I've actually been bitten by is a garter. So, of all the snakes I've handled and stuff, it's the small little garter snakes that are the ones I usually have to watch out for the most. And this one's huge, so the bite would kind of prick me a bit, but I'm not sure he is gonna bite, or she is gonna bite me. I think she's just now curious, and I've already handled her a little bit, so so I think it's fine. She is really hard to handle though, and do a video at the same time. I did get a video that my mom got of me handling this snake when I was still in my bathrobe and getting ready to embrace the day and stuff, and so anyway, look at this garter though. Isn't she a beauty? I really think that this is a female, but with the tail gone, it's even harder to determine whether or not the snake is female or male, because at least just by looking, because usually you look at their tails and stuff, but but the tail's gone. This snake has definitely gone through something a little bit more extreme than that bull snake. There was a few bites on the bull snake, but it probably was even from food or something, because eating live prey, especially like mice and stuff, snakes can get really injured from that, which is why a lot of people do frozen fed mice. And not only is it good for the snake to eat something that's frozen fed, but you warm it up, but it actually they euthanize the mice in a way that is like, it's like falling asleep for the mouse. So the mouse doesn't experience any pain. You get to feed your snakes, and you kind of get the best of both worlds. I mean, they are predators, so they do have to eat other creatures to survive, but when you have them as like pets and stuff, like my king snake, it's just kind of nice, because I'm an animal lover. I love mice too, but you know, my snake's got to eat too, so it's kind of the best of both worlds. But man, look at this beauty. She's calming down a little bit, but it makes sense that she's a little bit more nervous, because I mean, if she's gone through stuff where she's lost her entire tail, then I think that defensiveness is part of why she survived so long, even with that. You know, it's how they protect themselves a bit. So anyway, I just want you guys to see this beautiful, beautiful snake. It's huge. It's as big a, I mean, no wonder she's so big. She's a survivor. Even if she's lost her tail, she's survived. And it looks like she's actually even thrived pretty well, even with those injuries, because she is fat and happy, where that bull snake actually looked like, I mean, it was a good size still, but you could see the vertebrae on the back. And when you see that, that means that they're actually a little thin. So, that vole that was in my my window well, I was going to try to rescue it, but it wasn't coming out of its hole at all. And I didn't want to accidentally, like, close up the hole and it die that way. So I was like, I'd rather save a snake than a vole. So I might have encouraged the snake to go down in that hole. And I know something happened, because the little tail was just sticking out of the vole hole and shaking a little bit, and right as he caught the scent of the vole, he went right in. So, or she did, whether it was female or male. And I mean, that toad that I was going to feed that other snake, Snake wasn't interested, and it was kind of too big for this guy, I think, so I just let him go. I'm actually raising up tadpoles that I saved, so I try to save as many animals as possible, but I get that there's like there's a give and a take to nature, and like I was going to try to feed this guy a toad, but I couldn't find anything smaller today, which is, with all the luck I'm having, that's kind of surprising. So, but I think I don't know, because snakes actually like to stay in very close proximity to the area that they were born in. Not a lot of snakes actually travel, so it's like I want them to stay around, but I also know that there's lawnmowers and things like that that occasionally come out, and that might actually be where this injury came from, is a lawnmower. Looks like it's pretty old, though. But it always just makes me nervous, because I'm like, man, I want them around, but I don't want them getting hit by any man-made stuff. And thankfully we live out in the country, so there is a lot of area that, you know, a snake can be free and, you know, do its snake thing. But, but like out right at our porch, we've got like this nice grass, and then we have the wild grass. And so I might try to find like an area that, or even the ditch that runs at the back of our yard. That's actually, our yard line is at that ditch. So that's probably where I'll release this guy at, because it's a better area for like toads and stuff to come across, or lizards, and they're right next to a water source. The grasses get super long and super high up. So that's probably where I'm going to release him, and I'll do a video of releasing that guy. I probably should have done a video of the other snake going after that vole, because that was cool, but it's hard to handle a wild snake and do a video like this. The only reason I'm doing so well right now is because I propped up my phone for this video, and you can tell that I've been using both hands quite a bit for this snake, but oh my gosh, is this beautiful. And I don't know if you can really tell with this video, I've taken another one, but this snake has some really cool green spots on it. Like in between the checkers, there's different types of gardeners, and I'll probably have to go and look up what kind this actually is, because I see a lot of these, just not as big. But anyway, isn't she gorgeous? Mwah. I didn't actually kiss her, by the way, I just used my chin. So I will be washing my hands after these snakes and toads and things like that. So actually it probably wasn't a good idea for me to handle a toad and then handle a snake that eats toads, because I probably smell a little bit like a toad, but she wasn't really interested in eating. So anyway, both of them going back in the wild the same day. This snake was my dog found. That's half the time. That's how I find these snakes, is my dog Lou. He's got a nose for them, so he corners them, and then I have to go and pull the snake away from him. And a lot of the time I get struck at, but most of the time it's like kind of like not full force strikes. They're just doing like warning shots, and so a lot of the time I don't get bit. And what you do, if you ever want to try to handle a wild snake, is you try to get more by their tail. And sometimes what I'll do is I'll even, if they're open to it, I'll even like just gently pet by their tail to let them know I'm not aggressive towards them. I don't know why that works so well when they're in a strike pose, and they actually try to cover up their heads with the rest of their body and have their heads just enough out so that they can try to strike at you. But if I can get them a little less defensive towards me, where they're not striking even if they're in that pose, then I can usually pick them up by the lower end of their tail. I hold them out like this, so that if they do strike, they can actually hit me or tag me. And then eventually, when they kind of calm down from that, sometimes I'll like let them onto a surface as I try to work with them and show them that I mean no harm. And then eventually I go for 2 hands for support. And once they're kind of calming down and they feel supported, and they realize you're not trying to eat them or bite them or hurt them, they calm way down. Like, this snake is so much calmer than she first was. She's a wild snake, so at first she was kind of noodly when I was holding her and, like, just kind of jetting off, and so it's kind of hard to handle her smoothly like I am now. See, I'm just pulling parts of her gently so that she can keep moving as much as she wants, but she's not really going anywhere. So, anyway, and then it's funny, because once you let a snake back onto, like, their wild area, you put them down and stuff, if you try to go and pick them up again, they'll do the same defensive postures and everything. They completely forget how much you've bonded with them. And, and so if you want to handle that snake again or go and catch it for a second video, like I did, you basically have to do the same thing all over again. You might get tagged again, or tagged for the first time if you weren't, tagged the first time if you weren't tagged before. So I always find that funny, though, because it's like you can be best friends with this snake, put them against your face and everything, and they don't even bite you. Could have bitten me right then, but I'm pretty confident that she won't right now. And then you let them go, and then they're like, oh, it's a predator again, which is good. I mean, it's good that they don't get so used to me that when I put them back in the wild, they're like, oh yeah, humans are great now. So, anyway, gorgeous. Mwah.